Hi guys, thanks for tuning in. Paul here. Today we're working on a 2019 Ferrari. I'm just kidding. It's a Cub Cadet bag mower. It's got a Kawasaki engine on it. SR621 is the model. It's like a $400 and something mower. It's got rear wheel drive on it with 6 forward speeds. And the bagger assembly, you can detach that and turn it into a mulcher. A friend of mine gave me this. They were fooling around with it for about an hour and a half, 2.5 hours, playing with it. So whatever the initial problem was, I don't know what other additional problems they caused. Because that's what people do when they start finger fucking stuff. I pulled the plug. It was flooded like crazy. It had gas in it that he said smelled absolutely horrible. Anyway, I just threw the camera on my head. I pulled that valve cover. It's just 4 10mm bolts there. I didn't check it with a feeler gauge. I'm just going by feel. There's just a little bit of lash play in there in both of them. So those valves are not binding open. I just wanted to make sure that somebody didn't get in there and adjust them where the valve was not seating. Wendy, can you do me a favor? Yeah. I just need you to pull this. I want to make sure both of these valves are actually opening and working. I'm just going to squeeze down on this and just gently pull this string. It'll be easy because there's no spark plug in it. Hold that thing right there. Just pull it slow.
Let me know when.
Go ahead. Good, thank you. All right, so those valves are opening and closing. So we're either looking at a blown piston or a head gasket is my guess. Which is a pain in the ass. Let me go get a light. Looking to see if I can see anything inside that piston there, inside that cylinder chamber. I don't see any giant holes in the piston or anything. I'm going to put that valve cover back on. I'm going to see and make sure that cylinder head is tight. What I just did is I sprayed some oil in that cylinder. Do a wet compression test. See what kind of a reading I get. If the rings are shot, compression would have went a lot higher. Oops, I'm sorry, I just hit the trigger by mistake, damn it. Let it go. Yeah, we only went up to about 25 pounds maybe. So that didn't make a tremendous difference. Looking to see if I see any of that oil leaking around out of the head itself. Well, guys, I'm gonna have to pull the head off of this engine and see what's going on. So that's gonna do it for today. I don't know if any of this information is gonna be useful to anybody, but if you're trying to get a small engine working, you gotta look for fuel delivery, ignition, and spark. Fuel, ignition, spark, and compression. I mean, yeah, fuel, ignition, and compression. So I have ignition, I have fuel, I got no compression on this. By spraying that oil in there, if the rings were the problem, usually a compression would have went out by a substantial amount, because it would help seal around the rings. But that didn't make much of a difference, so it could be a blown head gasket. So I'm gonna have to pull the head off of this and see what I see. So I'll let you guys know as it goes. Okay, thanks for watching, and thank you for supporting this channel, helping us grow. Hopefully I'll be starting an Amazon and eBay affiliate link with all the tools that I use. Give you guys links for finding good quality tools at reasonable prices. I don't try to get the most expensive tool site to post. I try to find the most reasonable price. Alright guys, take care, stay safe out there, take good care of your cars, it'll take good care of you, and take good care of your lawnmowers, and hopefully it'll keep cutting. And take good care of your tools. They should last you a lifetime. Be well. Bye-bye. What is wrong with me? What is wrong with me? I'm doing what people usually do with small engines. Just pull the heads off. We got better tools than that. We got a leak down tester. We can put some compressed air in this and see where we hear that air coming out. And we also got a smoke machine. We could smoke that fucker. And that'll tell us where the air is going, guys. So we're going to put our automotive resources to work on this small engine diagnosis here. So maybe I'll go for the easiest thing first. Which would that be? Would that be the leak down or the smoke? The smoke will be the most definitive, right? That'll show me right where it's coming from. Maybe I'll go with the smoke. I put a new pulse width modulator on my smoke machine. If for those of you who don't know what pulse width modulation is, it takes a signal and turn an analog voltage where you would just have 0 to 12 volts with DC or battery voltage, which is higher than 12 volts, but we always call it 12 volts. And it modulates it in a square wave. So you have 0 volts, picture a line at 0 and a line at 12 volts. It causes a jump up to 12 volts with a flat line. That flat line is your duration of on time. Then it drops back down to 0 with an off time. Then back up to 12 volts with an on time again. And you can change the gap of on and off time. That's instead of changing voltage like from 0 to 6 volts, you're modulating that 12 volts and its duration, which enables me to control my smoke machine better, so I don't have my coil on full blast burning the coil out. All right, so let's get the smoker and try fucking with it with that. Alright guys, I should have done this with the valve cover open so I could tell if the valves were closed. I got it coming out of my intake valve right now, and I moved the motor, then it came out of the exhaust. It's still coming out of that intake valve. I may have to do this with that valve cover off and try moving the motor a little bit more, so I change the cam position.
That's coming out of there.
Now we're coming out of the exhaust. We're coming out of the exhaust valve. That's exhaust open. Now we should get valves closed. Move the motor a little bit more. Did it stop coming out of there?
Yep.
Coming out of the intake. It looks like the intake valve is leaking like a son of a bitch. You know what? Let me shut this off and do this with the valve cover open the right way. I'm going to shut this down for a second. Right, you can put that down for a minute. I'm going to shut that down for a minute. There goes my pulse width modulator. I might shoot Mars with it because it's interfering with my view of Venus. Let me get my 10mm socket. Open that valve cover. What happened, Wendy? I thought you said something.
No.
Four bolts zipping right in.
I was trying to imitate the alien.
Oh, the alien? Modulator.
I'm not good with that. I knew somebody was really good at that.
Anybody who doesn't like Bugs Bunny's a commie.
Yeah, that's right.
Where did that go? Right where it's supposed to go. And now we got oil dripping all over the place again. Okay. All the valves are closed. Yep, I got lash on the intake and the exhaust right now, so that means the valves are closed. I might have to pull this cover for a better view. We're gonna go back to sticking that in that hole there. Gonna try to hold that up against there. Then you're gonna stick your hose back in there. And we're making smoke again. Getting a lot of smoke up in the valve in the head. Valve seal shot. Fucking valve seals are shot. That's where we're losing it. The valve seals are shot. Or is that going down into the crankcase? Let's see if we're losing it all in the crankcase. I'm going to open the oil fill tube. See if it's all going in there. I'm getting some out of there too. See smoke coming out of the oil fill? That would be an indicator of bad rings. Bad rings or a hole in the piston would give us smoke out of the oil fill. But this looks more like valve seals, man. No, that's the valves there. It's not the valves themselves. Getting it up where the push rods are coming through. Why am I getting all this smoke through my push rods? You know what? That one's kind of stumping me a little bit. Alright, I gotta look into this one. I have not had smoke come out like that through push rods. That's a new one on me. This one's kind of fucking me up, guys. Alright, you can let that go. So it doesn't appear to be coming out where the head gasket seals. It's coming out where the push rods are. Very weird. I'm gonna try to bleed my hose down. So I had mineral oil get in there. Feel how hot that got. Oh boy, that smoker got hot. My pulse width modulator works excellent, Mimi. Just want to get all that oil out of the hose. I'll be honest, guys, that's a weird one. I gotta look into this, and we're gonna figure out what the hell's going on with that. That's a strange one.